in his own right. He was very, very instrumental, along with Reverend Leo Lesser, who is deceased also. The two of them were as close as that, and they brought through all of the legislation that has happened, and that is responsible for that. So that my role, as far as was, is that I was always aware of what issues were going on and what was being said on that. But by my iconic husband's request, I had to stay at home and take care of our 5 beautiful children, and he was the one that was always out there. So his track record speaks very well, and I am a very strong supporter of him all the way.
Definitely. How long were you two married? How long were you all married?
19 years. We married in 1950, and he died July 21st, 1969.
1969. Wow. When you talk about him, I can see the love and feel the love that you have for him.
Oh, I mean, you know, if I can be very honest, you know, you only had one boyfriend, my first boyfriend, who was the love of my life, who gave me the best of whatever that life has to afford, and I don't think I've missed a single thing until he died.
Wow. So we know a lot about famous men who led initiatives during the Civil Rights Movement, but I know many women who were working in front and behind the scenes. Can you highlight contributions that women made, including yourself, during the movement?
I would just like to, I could go on and on and on, but I would like to highlight one in particular, because the track record of women is out there. So all you need to do is do your research, you know, and on a track record. But I would like to speak of one that I would like to highlight, and her name was Viola Louisville, a white mother who simply wanted to do her part and play her role in the civil rights movement. And as a mother, from one mother to another mother, when I think of her, all she wanted to do, I think she had 3 or 4 children, all she wanted to do was come and play her role in the civil rights movement. And while she was on her way to the demonstration, she was killed, assassinated by, I'm told, the Ku Klux Klan, is because she was, in their words, a nigger lover. And so when I think of a white mother left her home, her children, simply to come and do her part on that, when I think of that, this breaks my heart today. And when I go on the LC Women Tours, which on that, there is a monument there for Viola Louisville, along with many others that, and I always have to stop and pause and thank God for her participation. And I was blessed to know her daughter, Mary, who and I still share a relationship today. And so that when I think of Viola Louisville and her role, man, then as far as I am concerned, I was blessed to be able to travel with Coretta Scott King and be alongside her in all of her issues that she was involved in. And so from Viola Rizzo and all that group, from Coretta Scott King and all that group, And for me, just to have been a part and play a part in it now, it's very significant to then and to me now. No, I didn't have a call. I'm fine.
Okay. Are we doing okay?
Right, yeah.
Everybody's okay. Okay. Can you talk to me about your experience in Atlanta? So the old Atlanta and the new Atlanta. Are you hopeful for our future? And especially after, meeting Barack and going through the 8 years with Obama.
Yeah. Well, since the passing of all of the members of the King family, which I was personally involved and was blessed to interact with them, every one of them, and all that. I have my memories, and I have my praise and thanks to God Almighty for that participation. And I had just decided, from then, with the passing of all of them and my interaction with all of them, I am very hopeful that the world will get better, and I hope that all of the martyrs, white, black, whatever, all of the martyrs did not die in vain, and that we, the living, will continue to do what we can and make this a better world.
That's good. That's nice. What did you think about the King Memorial Monument in D.C. when you first saw it?
That's amazing. That is amazing. All doing the construction and the processing and bringing it to fruition was a great awakening and enlightenment. As I said, just that should just touch everyone, everywhere in some kind of way, even in personal, what have you. And I would just like to share one experience with you, is that when we, on one of my visits, and after everything was in place, and ML, as I said, when he stands and has his arms like folded, on that, we were able to go up from the bottom on a scaffold and go all the way up to the top of that. So I was able, that's when we got to the top, and I could see ML's forehead. I was able to reach over and give Martin a big old kiss over on that and said, "Thank you, Martin, for all that you've done and what you mean to us and the world."
Do you get your strength from your mother?
I do. Excuse me. My mother, that's a picture of my beautiful mother right over there. Yeah. My mother was a domestic engineer, and she taught me everything as it relates to homemaking, being a perfect lady, enjoying beauty, and all that. So all of those things I get the strength from my mother, and I miss her very much.
Mm-hmm. And what was your mom's name?
Bessie Mae Power.
And you mentioned that earlier. Okay, Mae.
Uh-huh.
That's great. She's beautiful. I love her glasses. Very sharp.
Okay.
So you talked a little bit about your relationship with Coretta. Is there anything that you'd like to add about your friendship?
Yes. First of all, I love Coretta as a sister because, as I said, I'm an only child, and my mother would always say to me, or many times when I wanted to be involved in activities and what have you, she said, well, you can't do this and you can't do that. She said, because if you had a brother, I could trust your brother to go like that when I couldn't be like that. So I always wanted a brother. And then when I met Coretta and we got involved with our relationship, and it became a sisterly thing. So wishing for a brother, having a non-biological sister, was just being good. And as I said, I traveled with Coretta for quite some time, getting to know her and getting to learn her and be involved, So having a sister, not having a brother, it doesn't get any better than that.
At what age did you and Coretta meet? How old were you?
I think Coretta and ML married in 1953.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that is when I really got to get to know her and been involved with her ever since that marriage.
Talk to me about a trip that you went on with Coretta. What was that like? What was your most memorable
There was
trip?
one of many trips, but one of the fun trips was that she was a woman that touched you in every way, right? She remembered everybody